Alright, so we just finished up Mine Trap. We are on to the Queen's Decree. That starts once we speak to Razumdar right here.
Raz enjoys a good fight as much as the next guy. But
Once we
these
actually
are
talk to him.
horrible creatures.
Let's see if Fish finishes his action.
Oh, good to see you. Raz has a proposal if you have the time.
There we go.
Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves? This one has an eye for such things. And you look capable. So can Raz interest you in some cloak and dagger work? Ominous. No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. This one has come to Somerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. Shimmerin serves as the arrival point for newcomers to the island. It's the perfect place to ask a few leading questions and determine what the people think of the Queen's decree. Raz would go, but many know his face, yes? As a matter of fact, Raz made a list. Old Newell, a high elf artisan, spoke out. See what she complained about. Then there's Soxolza, a persecuted Argonian newcomer. Finally, Ranul, a city resident noted in the Divine Prosecution's observation log. True, not enough syllables. Ranul's a Redguard, whose family has lived in Shimmerin for generations. He's a well-respected trader, with a few warehouses along the docks. Talk to him before the Divine Prosecution decides to arrest him. The Divine Prosecution serves as law-keepers and protectors of social standards. Very persnickety. When rules are broken, they record it in their observation logs. If your name winds up on their list, things get complicated. Nothing at all. Unless you think they came to Somerset because of the Queen's decree. No, that would be ridiculous. Let's not lose focus. Just see what Old Newell, Soxolza, and Ranul have to say about newcomers and the mood in Shimmerin. We need to confirm these rumors or else put an end to them. Everyone should be pleased with the Queen's decree. Opening the border shows progress, yes? However, if any of her loyal subjects reject progress, well, Raz needs to know that too. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
Let's go ahead, head east along this path here.
Yeah.
And go down these stairs. Go towards the shoreline, and there she is right there.
Go find your own patch of beef. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Somerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work? I believe in caution as much as the next high elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers, and she was adept at making dyes. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon. Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
Alright, let's go ahead and go talk to Zozolza. I think that was how it's pronounced. And we'll be heading west to do that. We'll be following this path here. Alright, veer off the path just a little bit. There's a salamander over there by him right now. Oh. Well, it appears to be a bag of some sort. Let's go ahead and kill the salamander. And we'll take out the dire wolf. Oh, he's going back to his location. All right, now we get to talk to Ranul, the Red Guard, whose family has been here for generations, here in Shimmerine. Prominent trader, that's right. Oh, majestic, slow mount. So majestic, so slow. Oh my god, just all over the rocks. Alright, let's go ahead and go across this bridge. We'll make a right because we can't make any other turn. Or go straight. Or go left. Go right. No U-turn. No nothing. Alright, so just keep following the pointer on the compass, and then you'll see Ranul right there.
A newcomer in the warehouse district. Unusual, but how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing. Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help.
Alright, so we've talked to all people that Razumdar wanted us to speak to, so we'll go ahead and start heading back to Razumdar. So go ahead and go back across this bridge. Make a right up here. An awkward right. And you go up these steps. Go ahead and go up these steps, and then those steps, and the steps after that, and the steps after that, and the steps after that. No, not all those. Razumdar is just right there.
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for us to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered? Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Old Newell's assistant has lived on Somerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Solza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the King Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice that the sentry is distracted, just sleep quietly inside.
Razumdar wants us to slip quietly inside. Alright, well, let's go ahead and make our way to the monastery. Alright, so we'll go ahead and cross this bridge. Go up these stairs.
You there? I have a... Damn it!
There's gonna be a sentry up here. So he's right there. Oh, he's distracted, it looks like. So let's go ahead and try and get inside right now. Alright, nice. We made it. Alright, now that we're inside, let's go ahead and investigate the monastery. Let's go ahead and look at this list of sequestered guests. Then let's go take a look at the Kin Lady's letter. And I think there's a sleeping dude over here.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why do you care about the complexities of Altma bureaucracy? Still, if I had to make a guess, I'd say they were taking into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away. About the monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
We're looking for the Abyssal Pearl now. We need to go upstairs for that. There's somebody coming downstairs. It's up here over in this room over here. In here. And then some stranger shows up.
An Aldork's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios, strange creatures notwithstanding. We need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldarch and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me?
To the Undercroft.
I...
And we shall plummet to our death. Alright, so there's where we need to go down there. Let's go over into this stairwell.
You can't be in here.
There's the door right there. Alright.
Something's wrong down here.
Looks like a jail cell that we need to go to.
Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve...
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here. It's a nightmare. We came to Somerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
Is that a scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra. Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. I'll explain everything later.
On to
For
find
now,
the missing
we need to hurry.
prisoners. We gotta defend Valsira now.
Unfortunately,
Go ahead,
the
take out this
magic
blood
only
cleaver right
affects
here.
those who have been prepared. But never fear, your time will come.
We're gonna have to contend with the larva too, it looks like. Yeah. More larva's coming.
You hold off these creatures.
Oh, Strider. Let's take him out. Try to as fast as possible, at least.
Hold them off while I complete my
Take out the
spell.
spear. I hate the spears. Alright, he's dead. More larva, looks like. Yeah, that was the last enemy. Cool, cool.
Come on, let's talk outside.
Alright, let's get out there and have this conversation.
Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Sijic Order. Our Right Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Somerset. My inquiries led me here. Oriandra is indeed a member of our ancient monastic society. We once served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Sijic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here.
Escape the Undercroft. Alright, there will be a couple enemies that we run into. Where are they? Scoff and Wretch. There's a couple more down there at the end of the hallway. A Witchling and a Wretch. I'm gonna see about running through this part. Trying to avoid as many enemies as possible. Alright, so far so good. It's got a sneak. Cool. Cool. Alright, made it.
Living on Arteum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity.
Alright, so now we gotta...
Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered. And I'll catch you.
Yeah, she's telling us to speak with Razumdar, and that's what we gotta do now. Let's go ahead and do that. Inside the Anchors Away Inn. Alright, Razumdar's up on the second story, so let's make our way up there. There he is.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her, see what she knows about the Oldar. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijik mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijik mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avenice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Alright, I'll have to speak to the Kin Lady now. Just go back down the stairs. Go through this door. Back into Shimmerine. Mount up. Start heading this direction. Let's get in our super nice, elegant outfit and get inside. Alright, let's talk to this dude here.
Yes? And who might you be? The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite to discuss certain political matters. Yes. So you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant. Please, head into the garden.
Why, thank you, my good man. I do have a rather schmancy outfit.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with all Dark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Somerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
Alright then, kin lady. Alright, so we're not even going to bother talking to the Aldark. We're just going to take it straight to the kin lady. We go up the stairs, talk to her. There she is.
Barge into my home without so much as a by your leave. No, I refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home. How did you get in here, by the way? No, never mind that. Since you found your way in, I assume you can find your way back out, before I call the guards. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Somerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kin Lord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous. Aldark Tilkala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Somerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
Well, it looks like I got some stuff to talk to Razumdar about.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver...
Alright, so let's go ahead and go down the spiral staircase, go back out into Shimmerine. Alright, so we're looking to speak to Razumdar now. He's just over here. Right here.
Psst. Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanice is as naive as she is complicit, but she's not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what the Coral Forest, a strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Aldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Sijic Sage, yes? Here she comes now.
Alright, let's see what's going on.
While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Aldark
Okay,
in the
so
Coral
it's
Forest.
saying to go to the Coral
Raz
Forest.
smells something, and it isn't moon sugar.
That direction, over there.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen.
Alright, well, let's go ahead, mount up, and we'll start heading that direction.
And I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes. But let's travel separately to avoid attraction.
Alright, so we're heading west to get out of Shimmerine. Go down these stairs. And once we get to the path up here, we'll start heading south. The path right there. I like the different variety of trees. All the different colors. The reds and the greens and the pinks and all the different colors. Right. There's a salamander there. So there's Volcion right there.
One of Somerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Aldark asked Kin Lady Avanice to meet him out here. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
Alright, so we still need to search the Coral Forest. Okay, so there's some enemies. We're trying to gauge as few enemies as possible as we're making our way through here. Because I want to be prepared for the boss encounter. I don't want to have all kinds of enemies with me when I encounter the boss. Because I might have to try to kill the boss fast. Oh, go ahead. I'm not going to bother with them.
Know nothing of the plan you've
Going.
Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargain.
Alright, so there's this guy to kill. Pearl of Clavicus Vial.
Yagra, destroy these fools.
And his Strider. Alright, gotta destroy the Abyssal Pearl now. Alright, now we gotta talk to Valsiren. If I could just get off the stem log. Alright, there we go. There she is.
Razumdar apprehended the Kin Lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Aldark Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Aldark. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Right Master Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Right Master leads the Sigic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment.
We now need to speak to Razumdar. So let's go ahead and head over here. Try to avoid these enemies, which I think we failed at. Yes, we did. So let's go ahead and kill these salamanders now.
You can't treat me like some sort of criminal. You
Alright, that salamander is done. So is that one. Alright, cool.
Queen Irene will be disappointed that the Kin Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Aldark to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes? The Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vial. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Sigic Sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks. The Sigic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razumdar. This one has never had much love of magic, or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will, yes? Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Sigics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Alright, so from here we gotta head west. This is it. No, you know what? Let's go ahead and go to Shimmerine Wayshrine from here. Should make it easier to get to where we need to go. Alright, so we're doing the task travel to Artaeum from here. We want to head south. go ahead and mount up on our slow mount. Go south. You can actually see the building that we're trying to head to. It's just off there in the distance. That weird looking tower up on top. There you can see more of the building now. Some imps I see. Let's go ahead and avoid those guys. Alright, cool. That's where we need to get to. Oh, ooh, look, a sky shard. We'll get that another time. Alright, so we just need to go down these stairs here to this portal to Artaeum. Alright. We are now in Artaeus. Or Artaeus? Artaeum? Yeah. Alright, so now that we're here, we need to see Right Master Iacus. Yeah. I'm having a hard time pronouncing that, so just bear with me, please. Let's avoid these bushes here. And he's just right somewhere.
And there was no sign of Lathan.
There he is.
I don't know whether to be grateful or
What a rare
concerned.
honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldark's plot on Somerset. Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sothasil warned us about. Sothasil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his clockwork city, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Somerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to investigate. Indeed, but not until we finish studying the pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic.